tonight. Thank you, Hollis, for that lovely introduction. Before I get into it, I want to thank our lovely sponsors, Boeing, Amazon, Pearl Jam's Vitalogy Foundation, Malum, Dreaming Tree, the wine you're drinking right now, Made, Chihuly Studio, and Dotbox Studio. So I'm very excited for what's #Festa next. When I was an actor in the 90s, I was always interested in what's next. You know, like, what happens after the play ends? What happens when the commercial break? So my first gig as an actor was playing a drug addict on Law & Order because I'm black. And that's what black people do on Law & Order. So I did it, and I was like, all right, I'll play a drug addict, but that's it. No more drug addicts. What's next? Repeat after me. What's next? What? 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 Yeah, so I played a drug counselor on Rescue Me. Departure, not really, but at least I wasn't, you know, like Ashy Larry on the Chappelle Show. So I said, what? Exactly. So my friend, she's like, can you please do this play? It was a musical, and I said, I don't do musicals. She's like, please do this play. I read it, and I was like, all right, cool, I'll do it. The play was In the Heights with Lin-Manuel Miranda. It was lit, I have to say. It was pretty dope. I got to perform with him, worked with him for many, many years. He's a good guy. Hamilton, go see it. But what? Right? So the next thing I did was this play in Lincoln Center called Fly, about the Tuskegee Airmen. And that play changed my life. Right? It was a play for all ages. And one day during rehearsal, the director said, yo, can we invite these kids from across the street at LaGuardia High School to come watch the scene? I was like, yeah, cool. Now, LaGuardia High School is where Nicki Minaj went, Britney Spears, Alicia Keys. So that's the kind of students that went there. I mean, they were in middle school at the time, but, you know, they were there. So the kids come in, see our rehearsal, and the director says, so what do you guys think? And the kids in typical, or youth in typical ways, were like, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I don't know. This one young brother, though, had his eyes on the ground. And I saw him, and I said, yo. See, in New York, you say, yo, that's a question, that's a statement, that's a proclamation, that's an entire story, right? So I said, yo. And he said, you need a beat. So the director got some djembe drums, started playing the beat. And he was right. We needed that beat to drive the story. And we said, thanks, man. And he was, you know, bashful, hiding his face, but he was elated. No one had ever said anything thankful to him. So the next day he came back and kept coming back every day. So we put him to work. We're like, yo, hang a set or do some electrics. Fast forward years later, he's still doing backstage crew on Broadway. What? His teacher said he was about to drop out of high school if not for that experience with us. The arts turned this brother's life around, right? Hell yeah. They showed him what's next. So he helped me find my what's next. So what's? I became a teaching artist, an artist that teaches. My job was to uplift and empower young people of color, black and brown. Sometimes I was the only brown face people saw. Sometimes I was in a room of only brown faces that looked really sad because no one looked at them in the eye. And I looked at each student I talked to, looked them in the eye and said, hey, I see you. I'm not here to teach you. I'm here to learn with you, right? So students that were silent in class were speaking. Students that were considered bad were shining a light in class, right? So teaching artistry is beating educational inequity. Teaching artistry is an act of social justice. So I knew that, yeah. So I said, what's? I saw that middle school exams, the standardized tests were racist and biased and culturally inappropriate, right? So I developed a strategic strategy using hip-hop music and youth culture to help those students battle that test. It was dope. Kids loved it. They succeeded, right? So, but what's? I was like, higher education is full of old white people teaching young white people how to teach even younger black and brown kids. And I was like, nah, son, we got to change that up a little bit. So I did. We started teaching about educational inequity and systemic racism in the school-to-prison pipeline. We recruited more students of color. But what? People still didn't know how to teach. So I wrote a book. What? It's called the Culturally Responsive Pedagogy Guide to Teaching. Right? It's online. It's free. Check it out. But yo, What? I didn't know. I thought it was done. And that's when I found Arts Corps. Yo, Arts Corps, dedicated to battling educational inequity and providing a platform for social expression. And Arts Corps has a foundation of closing the achievement gap in an area where wealth and race is the biggest predictor of success. And Arts Corps was a social justice organization I could stand behind. What? Yo, I had to be there. So, as you know, Arts Corps is a impressive organization, and I'm excited to be here. So a huge shout out to Elizabeth, right? The previous CD of the past 9 years. And of course, Lisa Fitzhugh, the founder, and ED before that. Give it up for them one more time. Elizabeth and Lisa. Yeah, they're great. Now, Arts Corps has grown in 17 years. Last year, we served 2,425 students, 17% more than the previous year. 76% of the middle school students that felt challenged academically turned those academics around after participation in our programs. 92% of the students in the hip-hop artist residency strongly agree that they feel confident as artists and leaders. 100% of the students in the Arts, Liberation, and Leadership Institute feel confident in their approach to social justice as artists and activists. So, what? I see us delving into the 21st century with 21st century skills, developing digital platforms for all of us to use, generated by these young people. Yes, I see us breaking down the walls of social inequity, right? Battling these heinous policies, these caustic rules, these walls. No ban, no wall, right? We're not doing that. We're not standing for that, right? I see us providing pre-professional training to young artists for pathways and careers in arts and beyond. I see us changing lives, y'all. We're Arts Corps. We do things. We know the power of the arts. We know the power of young people in the arts, that they're the future leaders of the world, right? Arts Corps. We trust arts. We see arts. We believe arts. We need arts. We live the arts. And with your support, we can keep living the arts. Yes, yo. Angela Davis, she said, justice is not assured without a fight. Where our youth are on the front lines. They know the revolution is rising. They see it, and they say, you know what? No matter what, we're going to make art anyway, right? So last thing, I'm going to quote Dolores Huerta, labor organizer. That's right. And she says, get off the sidewalk and walk in the street with us, right? Come to the street, walk with us. Let's listen to these young people. Let's follow them, because you know what? They're going to tell us what? Yes. What? Yes. What? Yes. Thank you.